I just got back from LA. While I was in LA, I had a huge shoot scheduled. In this video, I want to break down the video production as detailed as I possibly can. I want to talk about the budget that was put into the video. I want to talk about how much money I walked away with, which is a topic that I never really talk about. And I know a lot of people are interested on how much money I make on videos. So I'm going to talk about how much I walked away with. We're going to talk about where the money went to, how the budget breaks down, how real world shoots are. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be detailed, and for the people who love the BTS content on this channel, this is gonna be a banger for y'all. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, I get to LA. I got this huge shoot scheduled. I'll talk about the budget a little bit later, where I'm showing you guys specifically what's going on in the video. It'll make a little bit more sense that way. But just know I ended up maxing the budget for the video. So one thing that I did not have covered within that budget was lighting. And this is a very, very, very crucial key thing that you guys got to keep in mind when you're doing video production and just anything in general. Use your resources, build really good relationships with people who are beneficial, and you know, treat those guys well and give back to them as much as you possibly can. So I maxed out the budget for this video that we're going to be shooting, that we shot already, and I needed lighting. I didn't put lighting into the budget because I knew I could pull favors from my homies out in LA. So the first thing to do when I got to LA was hit up Aperture. And this was an awesome experience because I had never been to the Aputure office. This is what happened. This is my first time at the Aputure office. These guys just greeted me with the hypest greeting in the world, you know, with me. This weekend's about to be nuts. We got a really huge shoot that we're doing tomorrow. And of course, I had to hit up the homies at Aperture, the sponsor, to get us the lighting that we needed for the video. So it's gonna be awesome, man. This ride's gonna be dope. Right now we're in Glendale. I don't know anything about LA. I just know that we're here, we just arrived, and we're gonna have a ton of fun. Yeah, give me the tour. I want this. Send me this. This is what I want. I need this in my videos.
And this is the content room. Yeah, we got Aputure over here, Deddy over here, content creators over here.
The whole team. We have our nice fireplace over here, keeping us warm. Because in California, we don't actually have winters. Yeah. We just have extended autumns.
Yo, why don't we have a content room, bro?
Looks like this shit crackled. This shit gotta crackle.
Ooh, y'all gotta hear it. So they got the fireplace, and then they have a actual heater to simulate that fireplace. So you know, you can't beat it. You know, you gotta get it how you can get it.
But what's it? Take you through the fake door.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Piano right here, dude. I don't play piano, but I can model next to the piano.
Wait, this is actually insane. Back out and show y'all what y'all actually looking at. Whoa! So this is a built set. These are fake walls that you guys can see.
We actually just locked everything down, but what we can do is you can crank a couple of knobs and fancy things happen to basically make the set able to do a full turnaround.
Yeah, just the workbench over here, client monitor.
We got the gear.
The most important thing, the industrial coffee.
Oh yeah, definitely. Gotta have that.
You gotta have this industrial hot water right here too,
oh,
bro.
Yeah, you already know.
And then right over here is where all the gear is for the gear people.
Ooh.
So this is our studio manager's gear right here. Yeah, this is over here. We got the cases, the 3 light cases. Ooh. Get yours today.
Yeah. Yeah. Link in the description.
Link in the description.
Gotta plug that. Gotta plug that.
Yeah, and then some roll-ups, some paper, some backdrops.
Okay. This is awesome. So I didn't really know you guys had a studio. Like when Ted told me if I needed a studio, I didn't think it was an actual studio. I thought it was like, oh yeah, I'll get you a studio. Like I didn't know you guys had one. So this is awesome to actually come and see where you guys work out of.
We got another light over here too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, y'all gotta send me one of these though. This is what I want. I want one of these. These are dope. This is actually really tight. That would look really fire in one of my YouTube videos in like the back of my office. So hold on, bro. Don't die. Don't die, bro. Don't die, bro.
You got the board slide trainer.
Ooh.
You should
So I linked up with the Aputure guys. It was awesome. You guys saw. I got to see the studio. The studio is super sick. They got that set built up in there, man, and they're in there cooking up. Like I really admire the way they got that set up. They got so many different areas in it. We got the homies in the back, and it's just so many computer desks set up, man, and then so many emails and work and ideas flowing. I love it. It's like they're really in there cooking up, and it makes me want to get an office space for myself to just get all my homies in there and just throw ideas out at each other and just create, man. I love that atmosphere that they have at the Aperture office. It's super dope. So we got the lights for the video, and tomorrow's the shoot.
All my life I wanted plug money, blood money, drug money, lick money. Help my mama if she gets sick money, brick money, stick money, whip money. I got them niggas pulling up doing hit money. Hood rich, dope money, coke money, slow money. At least it's better than no money. Old money, show money, my whole money. I never needed it, fuck it, I like to blow money. That cheddar bag, and that shit come with an extra bag. Type of shit you change your number, make your exes mad. Check the tag, and watch the money turn your best friends bad. Your old friends and your enemies exchange last. This type of money get your dick licked.
All my life I wanted plug money.
TCrook hit me up. He's very spontaneous. You know, he got these ideas, these big, broad ideas. He just doesn't know how they're gonna come. He just throws them at me and he's like, yo, this is what I want, get it done. He told me that he wanted to shoot the video in LA. He told me the budget he had for the project. He's told me a couple ideas that he had for the video. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. Throughout the process of me finding the location, I talked to the guy who owns the location that we were shooting at. I'm not gonna say the specific location that we shot the video at because later on you'll hear about the reckless craziness that happened at the studio, but I talked to the owner. He referred me to this guy. Man, this is so crazy because I'd never met this guy before. I'd never seen any of this dude's work. I'd just been talking to him over the phone and throwing texts at him and ideas of what I wanted to do. Now he was producing a project. This is the producer. Now the producer handles a lot of the booking of different places and models and basically just organizes and keeps everything in order for the video. So the producer, my homie Cash, really good dude, man. I had been talking to him for a couple of days, probably like a week or so, just trying to get everything in order. We were going back and forth with pricing spreads, talking about the different things that we can do and what we couldn't do for the project. Anyways, let's talk about the budget. I know a lot of you guys are interested in the budget of the video. So overall, within the budget for this video, it was more so upwards of around $10,000. It's probably like my second around $10,000 budget video. But one thing that you guys got to realize about budgets is budgets don't really correlate to how much money you put into your pocket and leave the project with. Those are two totally different things. So to break down the budget as detailed as I can for this video, my rate to shoot the video was $1,000. So this is what I wanted to put together this video project. And that depends, you know, that varies from time to time depending on what I'm shooting. But for this particular project, I got $1,000 for it. And you know, I had to put my homie Tino on to do BTS photography. I got him paid $500. So with $1,500 in, then we got to get to LA. So all in all, our transportation, our booking, our staying there was around maybe $1,200 to $1,500. So right there, we're already in around $3 grand. So I talked to the producer. I figured out everything that we needed and everything that we could get done with the little bit of money that we had. And $5,000 went straight to the producer, and he handled the booking of pretty much everything else that we needed to do. So right then and there, we're in around like $8 grand or so. Then you got to factor in the fact that the artist has to get there and also his stay there and blah, blah, blah. So it was upwards of $10,000 in total for this entire video. Getting into the ideas that he wanted to do, he just said he wanted a washing machine, which is so crazy. Throughout the track of this video, he's talking about money and, you know, washing up money and laundering money and a lot of different money plays. So we kind of wanted to implement that into the treatment. So we got a washing machine, and you guys will see it in this first look that we have here. So basically within this look, basically us just walking around a space and picking up different props that we feel could make this flow and actually work. This is the first look that we were building at 7 a.m. We got there, and this set originally just looked like the washing machine there, and then we put those tube lights on it, which these tube lights are absolutely insane. I'll talk about those a little bit in a second, but originally this set was just this washing machine and we had the tube lights on it. And it was very singular and I didn't really know how I could implement TCrook into a performance. I kind of just wanted it to be a B-roll scene originally, but I was like, nah, let's just try to get them in here and work the models in here and try to get this to work. So originally it was just that. And then the couch and the table made their way in there. So that was that, but these tube lights. So, I wanted quasars. Quasars are just what I've been known to use, and it's just kind of like an industry standard at this point. But these lights, I forget where they're from. I don't know. I'll look up the brand. I'll get my homie. I'll put it up here on the screen or down in the description somewhere. But these tube lights were actually insane. They were fully portable, which means they ran off batteries. We didn't need wires for them. They charge within the case that you bring them there with. And these things are able to change different colors and do animations within them with like a remote. I had never seen this before in my life, but the producer got them. They were awesome. So we're setting up the scene. We got a couple different tubes onto the washing machine to kind of highlight that in the background. We got tubes around the seat that TCrook is sitting on. We got tubes under the table, as you guys see right here. And this is a really simple setup. We got the Aputure 120D with the Light Dome Mark II. It's the 120D Mark II, actually, and the Light Dome Mark II. And we're just key lighting him. And then off to the side, I have my homie John over there waving the light back and forth to kind of just throw some dope accents in there. We got a little bit of haze and fog in the air to add some atmosphere. And this is our first look and our first setup, which is insane. This story is so crazy because I feel like I'm kind of flip-flopping and jumping all over the place. But yeah, this was at 7 a.m. We got there, we were setting this up. And before we actually even got to set this up and do this shot, originally, we're in there setting stuff up, and then the fire marshal comes out of nowhere, and he's coming in, and he's like, you know, I wasn't talking to him. The producer handled all the booking for the stuff, so I'm like, oh yeah, you know, do your thing, talk to him. I figured he had everything in order. You know, I go over to see what's going on after a while because they're talking for a minute. So I go over there and I'm talking to him, and he's like, yeah, you know, I'll be right back. Talking to the fire marshal, like, yeah, let me talk to him for a second. So we step off, we're kind of whispering to each other, talking. I'm like, bro, what's going on? He's like, yo, we're getting shut down. I'm like, what? We just got all this stuff set up. We've been in since 7 a.m. We've been putting this scene together for like 2.5, 3 hours. And the fire marshal's like, yeah, you gotta shut this down. I'm like, bro, why? He's like, yo, he's asking for a permit. He's like, yo, I've never had a permit at this place before. I didn't know you need a permit to film indoors, which I didn't know either, which this is an eye opener to me as well. I'm so used to just pulling up and shooting where I want to here in my little city where I live, or booking out a studio because I don't want cops or like people to mess with me about permits. And I absolutely had no clue that you needed a permit to film inside of a disclosed location like a warehouse or a studio. Apparently this is a super crucial thing in LA. So if you find yourself ever going out to LA to film something, keep this in mind, because this is like the film capital of the nation. Like, they're trying to make as much money off of film as they possibly can. So they take permits super serious out there. And I had no clue. So the fire marshal's like, yo, we gotta shut this down, y'all don't have a permit. And I had no clue, I didn't know anything about it. I had to produce a book and everything. Just know we worked some angles, and we were able to actually get in and get to shooting and actually shoot our project. But it almost got really bad really fast. Like, we shot one shot and we were borderline about to get shut down. But anyways, the shot, we got the setup, we got the models in it. It was really cool. You know, we used the main model for a couple of the performances throughout the first part of it. We got the other girls in the background, and I just got B-roll of them kind of picking up the money and putting it in the washing machine and taking it out. And it was really cool. It wasn't my favorite shot of the video. That was more so like an impromptu thing that we kind of just put together on set. So it wasn't my favorite shot, but it was cool, and I like the way we put it together. I feel like I got some really good B-roll throughout it. I really like the swinging light that we added into it. It just added a lot of motion, and swinging lights really add the official music video feel to your music video. So try using those. Try using spotlights. They're awesome, and swing them in the background and move them. It just adds a lot of movement into the shots. So the next setup that we had the art department put together like money pallets. So, you know, like the pallets of money that get shipped out to banks and stuff like that. They put that together for me, which was awesome. And when Cash was originally telling me about the process of getting this built, I thought it was kind of going to be something really different. I thought they were actually going to have like fake money piled up and you know, wrapped around with the saran wrap and stuff like that. But when they put it together and I saw it, I was like, dang, this is so creative. So it's always important to you know, hire people who can do stuff like this, because I could not have done this. I'm not that creative to put together something like this. So that was awesome. So look, the way that they put this together is they use like 4x4s or just like wood blocks, right? And they put together like a crate, like a cube shape using that, and then they tape like the money pieces to it, and then they wrapped it with the saran, and then they reinforced this so TCrook can actually get on it, or the model could get on it. Because originally we were gonna have him on it performing, which I did run through a couple times, but I just felt like the old school car that we decided to use with that shot was just a lot better. So everything worked out with this shot perfect. This is actually my favorite couple of shots from the video for a couple different reasons. Color coordination is so beautiful within the shot. Everything about it, the atmosphere and the textures and stuff already within the warehouse space are just awesome. We got that blue tone, then we got the old school car right there in the shot, and it has that blue tone as well. We were able to get those tubes into a couple different places. We got a couple inside of the car that you guys can't actually see, just giving off a little bit of blue ambience and kind of highlighting the model within the shot as well. We got some under the money palettes, and like I said, those tubes are awesome because you can change them in pretty much any color you want. So we changed those to more of like an aqua tone, teal tone as well. And TCrook's outfit just came out amazing as well because it fits really well. The color contrast between the blue and the red just pops. We got the girl in the background, she has on like a fur top to kind of give off that cold feel because he has on a coat. So the shot just came together really well. The color contrast, the temperatures, the textures. I love everything about this shot. The shot is just awesome. The way that we light in the shot is we have a 120D Mark II and the Light Dome Mark II just off to the side, really high on the C-stand, just shooting that down on TCrooks. And then off to the right side, we're using the 120D Mark II. We have a Fresnel on it to just give us a really consistent hard beam to hit the girl on the side of her face and also TCrooks. And it just makes it pop. It has that super contrasty music video look to it. The colors in it are amazing. I just really can't wait to sit down and color grade this and just pull those colors and extract them and make it look super punchy. I ran through the performances within the shot a couple times, a couple on the Ronin. I used the 50mm Canon a couple times for some close-ups. I used the 100mm as well to get some really crisp close-ups on like TCrook's chain and like the smoke and the girl and stuff. Now the next setup was awesome as well. This was another request from TCrook, something that he knew for a fact he wanted to do. He kind of wanted to have like a full built out room that had like the tube lights on it, and he wanted like the name of the track in the background in the room or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I reached out to Cash. He hit the art department up and they were awesome. They put together that as well. They did the room, they did the pallets. They put together the baskets and put the money in them for the first couple of shots that I showed you guys as well. So the star setup was dope, something that he requested. I didn't really have any input on this, but it came out really well. So for the star setup, we have our department. They put together a couple wood pallets. Again, these were like walls, kind of similar to like what you guys saw at the Aperture office, but these were just solids. They didn't have windows in them. Painted them black. Then they painted the stripes up them as well to give it some depth and some design. Painted the name of the track on the background. Then we put those tubes in there to give it that look. Now the color contrast in the shot is awesome as well. We have a couple of those tubes up at the top, lining the top, and they're set to like a purplish tone. And then we used orange within the inside tubes that you guys see. We're using the 120D Mark II off to the side, up really high, just to key light them a little bit and give them a realistic skin tone, and just let those colors in the background play off of each other and add some dope contrast into it. My gripe with this shot and this setup was that the walls, like they're dope, but once you start adding movement into the shot, it's kind of limiting because you don't want to show the walls, the edges. You want it to feel like it's a big continuous room, you know? And we had some really dope tube lights up across the top of the shots that I wanted to show, but I didn't want it to show the wall ending. So that was kind of a challenge in itself. So I kind of was just confined to this little room. And I was able to get a little bit of movement off of it. I'll do my reframing up in post, but that was kind of a challenge for me filming wise. And it was cool, I liked it. I like challenging stuff. I like kind of working on the fly and figuring things out. So, I mean, that in itself is super challenging. I got a couple shots coming in and out on the Ronin, and then I got some close-ups, and this was close to the end of the day. We were wrapping up, we were running out of time. We had to get out of the studio. A little mishap with the fire marshal cost us a couple of hours. Man, it's like, yo, musicians and like even directors, I'm sure you guys wouldn't think that this would be like a $10,000 video. It seems like not a lot is going on in it, to me anyways, but it's like, yo, you gotta hire people, you gotta hire an art department, they have to get paid. You have to pay the producer's rate to put together the stuff for you. You gotta pay models. We had a stylist there. We had makeup artists there. We had food for lunch and breakfast. And it's just those little things that kind of add up. And then you gotta pay me for the production. And then you gotta pay, it's so much that goes into video production that people just really don't understand. So, you know, if you have an artist who doesn't understand anything about video production, they wanna see and know how much money goes into it, show them this little shoot that I'm doing, then show them the big shoot that Lil Wayne and Colin Tilley and everybody else is doing, you know, and tell him to imagine how much that costs to put together and how much they have to pay that entire crew to put that together. If you're just paying me and my little crew 10 grand to do a video like that, think about how much it costs to pay those guys to do stuff like that, man. But a couple other things about the shoot that were actually dope and interesting as well were the fact that we came in at 7 a.m. And we had until 5 p.m. to do the video. Me coming into it, I'm like, man, it's not gonna take that long. Like, we can do this in 4 or 5 hours. I'm so used to doing everything by myself and having Tino pull up and us rearranging the lights and doing all the little stuff. I'm like, bro, we can do this in like 4 hours. Like, we were literally down to the last second in the studio doing the shoot, to the fact that I didn't even get every single shot that I wanted. So time goes fast when you're doing video. So always account and try to schedule for that extra time loss that you're gonna, face most of the time. Another thing that was interesting that people and myself should note that I just figured out, if you're in these bigger hubs like LA and Atlanta and New York, and it's like a really big film community based around yourself, look into producers, man, or just people on set who can help you organize. No lie, I don't ever do this, but this is like, I never do this. I never do this. If I have a shoot of this magnitude, I always take the time to sit and plan. But literally with this shoot, I didn't do any planning. I didn't plan. I didn't do a shot list. I didn't do scheduling. I didn't do anything. I literally reached out to my producer Cash. I told him everything that needed to be done. I told him when we were going to be there, when we were going to be shooting, how many models we needed. I told him the shots that I was thinking about getting. He put all of this together. Like, that's another huge benefit of having a team or people who can help you. It takes so much stress off of you. I literally just got on the plane. I brought my camera. I brought my Ronin. And that was it. I didn't have to think about anything, and it just took a load off of me. So think about that, man. Crews are important. Pay the people you can. Build those relationships with people who can help. And keep your people in good positions, man, and treat your people right. Don't ever burn bridges. Don't ever burn bridges. Teams are so important. Other than that, what else, man? What else do I want to say about the shoot? The shoot was gnarly. It was nuts. This was like literally probably the longest day of my life. Like, I've never felt and never been on the set from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it's like, think about the big people, the big production director guys who sit on set for freaking 15 hours out of the day. I couldn't imagine. That literally felt like the longest day of my life. Another thing about the shoot, man, you gotta prioritize with budgets. So it was a lot of other things that we were thinking about getting and doing for this video. One big thing that I wanted to do that I just was not able to do was put together a red package and get a DP for the shoot. That would have been awesome. I wanted to do that, but it didn't happen. You got to roll with the punches. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get specifically what you want for the video because the budget has to go to other things. So you got to prioritize what's going to be needed for the video. For me, I really did want the red. I really did want a DP. I wanted to take as much stress off of myself as possible, but I prioritized, and I knew that if we invested the money into the art, if we invested the money into the designing, if we invested the money into stylists and makeup and all the other things, that the camera was going to be the least of our worries. If we were able to put together really good shots and really good sets and really good design, whatever camera was going to capture it, So that right there was prioritizing. Had I spent the money that I needed for the package and the DP and all that stuff, we would have kind of lacked off on something else. Whereas it's like, yo, why invest in a crispier image if what's going to be in the shot is kind of boring, So you got to prioritize with budgeting if you ever find yourself in a position where you have a little bit of money to invest into the video. So that's one thing that I wanted to do that I couldn't do in the video. And it was a lot of different things that were brought into the equation of creating this video that we kind of had to X off because we just either didn't have the money or we had to put the money in some other place regarding the video. So budgeting and prioritizing the budget is crucial, so crucial to creating a video. That's it, man. If you enjoyed this video, drop it a like. Also in the comments, let me know if this budget amount surprised you. I know a lot of people don't necessarily know how much money goes into these videos or how much money people like me get paid or how much other directors get paid as well. Like I said, budgets can break down a million different ways. It all depends on what's going into the video. Sometimes I'm walking away with $1,000. Sometimes I'm walking away with $2,500 or $3,000, or it's crazy. You can get a $10,000 video budget and walk away with $500 if it's a passion project or something that you want to invest the majority of the money into, which I feel is smart personally, because if you produce something really, really, really good, you can pitch this to people who have money, who are actually going to want to pay a large amount of money for a video. So Sometimes you gotta come out of pocket and put together what you feel like is a really good project, and at the end of the day, it'll come back to you in one way or another. So in the comments, did this budget surprise you? What do you think about the video? What's another question that you have about video production? Yeah, I'm out, guys, man. Hopefully you guys appreciated this video and liked it. Let me know if you guys learned some new stuff. Peace out.